Having existed for over 25,000 years, it's no wonder that the Jedi Order developed multiple techniques for engaging in battle, both against other Force users as well as against blaster fire. Each form was created and tweaked throughout the millennia, and it took many intense battles to reach what we know today as the 11 forms and variants of lightsaber combat. In this video, I'll break down the development of each form and show you how they differ from one another, so smash that subscribe button and let's get into it. And before we get into it, I just want to mention our brand new Star Force 1 Discord server where you'll get plenty of exclusive content and you'll be part of an amazing community who love Star Wars and are speculating and analysing everything that comes out, from comics to books to games, everything like that. You'll love it, so join. The link is in the description down below. To start off, we have Form 1, Shi-cho. Being the first form to be developed, Shi-cho was naturally the simplest one. Based on moves from the Jedi's initial days wielding swords, Shi-cho served as the beginning form for padawans, and despite its simplicity proved deadly in the hands of a competent and experienced Jedi Master. Even for those who were proficient in other forms of combat, Chicho was often turned to as a dependable set of techniques when more complex ones failed. Although practically all Jedi knew it, some of the best practitioners were Grand Master Yoda, Mace Windu and Kit Fisto, who used it often in everyday encounters due to his total mastery of the form. It wasn't long, however, before weaknesses were found in its techniques, and Chicho was used as the foundation for new and improved forms. The first of these being Form 2, Makashi. Composed of a deeply refined and much more graceful set of moves, Makashi relied on precise strikes instead of raw strength to overcome an opponent. Such a step up from Chicho was Makashi that it became the most used form for duelists in the Order, staying this way until the very end of the Jedi Order. Its focus on fluid movement led to some Jedi and Sith developing lightsabers designed to allow them to carry a lighter and more agile blade. The infamous curved lightsaber as well as the light foil are two examples of this Makashi-based craftsmanship. The most skilled and notable users of this form were Count Dooku, Asajj Ventress, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Jedi Battlemaster Sindralik. As powerful as it may have been against bladed opponents, it was a highly technical form which was pretty hard to master, leading to the development of alternate forms, and that brings us to the first forbidden form ever conceived, Trata. Trata was an interesting form, one which came about from desperation more than anything. It was created by an unknown Jedi consular who found themselves too weak to overcome their opponent by ordinary means. The form is based on the concept of fully utilizing the potential of the lightsaber, a weapon which by its nature could be turned on and off. Although it had various moves, Trata can be summarized as luring the opponent into attacking or blocking, then taking them by surprise by switching off one's lightsaber, sticking the hilt in front of them, and then turning it back on. This is extremely different to the traditional forms, and both the Jedi and Sith looked down upon it. The Sith considered it to be a sign of complete weakness and lack of power, both of which were essential to anyone worthy of following the dark side, while the Jedi considered it dishonorable and unsportsmanlike. This collective shunning led to the form fading into obscurity without anybody being bold enough to call themselves a user of it. As time went by though, blasters became a more common threat across the galaxy, and the need for a more defensive form arose. This brought about the creation of Form 3, Soru. Soru is a highly defensive form that focuses on tight, efficient movements to minimize exposure to attacks. It required the lightsaber wielder to have an incredible command over their blade and body to minimize their profile while offering maximum defensive capabilities. This was a defensive form. The defense was near flawless, with the blade moving constantly in each direction to provide almost complete protection from attacks, be they opposing blades or blaster fire. The incredible defense provided by the form allowed for safety amidst chaos, as seen in Obi-Wan Kenobi's battle against the far stronger and aggressive Anakin Skywalker. This patience was one of the main rewards of using the form, and the opponent was bound to exhaust themselves or their weapon, and a swift victory would soon follow for the Soru user. As the years went by, Jedi began to experiment with new techniques, utilizing more than just their blade as a weapon. This led to the creation of the fourth form, Ataru. Ataru is one of the most interesting forms to ever come out of the Jedi Order. Despite the fact that it is highly aggressive and requires a great deal of energy thanks to its strong strikes, it was something still used amongst the older members of the Order. This is due to them using the Force to enhance their physical bodies, increase their stamina, and overall prevent themselves from getting easily tired. This becomes even more impressive when you account for the acrobatics which are part of the form, allowing users to take their enemy by surprise, overcome them with greater footwork, or even kick them to create an opening. Those who mastered Ataru moved swiftly, delivering powerful blows with agile jumps and airborne attacks, so quickly that they seemed like a blur to their opponents, attacking from all directions. This form was most often used by Grand Master Yoda, Qui-Gon Jinn, Luke Skywalker, and Darth Maul. That brings us to Form 5, Shien. Shien originated from the Masters of Soru taking a more offensive approach to combat. To achieve this, they formed a fusion of Soru's defensive techniques and the aggressiveness of Makashi. Shien emphasized the complete domination of opponents, calling for a higher level of physical strength compared to other forms. One of the primary goals of this form was to use an opponent's attack against themselves, for example by deflecting a blaster bolt to hit the person who fired it. Some users adopted the reverse Shien grip, an interesting style where the lightsaber hilt was held backwards, exposing the front entirely. This grip, although dangerous, enabled users to execute wide, sweeping strikes capable of taking down multiple opponents at the same time. The use of this grip, however, caused controversy among other duelists who favoured more traditional approaches. Some notable users of it were Plo Koon, Evan Peel, and Sindralik. And that leads us on to the variant of this form, Jem-so. A variant of this form, known as Jem-so, was created by Ulic Qel-Droma to focus the benefits of Shien on being effective against other lightsabers. Whereas Shien deflected an opponent's blaster fire, Jem-so used their blade strikes as opportunities to perform counterattacks followed by pushing the enemy back and performing an assault of the user's own. The form merges force-enhanced strength with skillful blade work to overcome and inundate an adversary's defenses. Jem-so, known for its raw power, becomes even more formidable when paired with both physical strength and force-infused prowess. This combination proves effective against Makashi, a lightsaber form emphasizing finesse and elegance in dueling, showcasing that Jem-so's sheer force can overpower and defeat practitioners skilled in Makashi. Some of its most notable users were Darth Bane, Anakin Skywalker, and Luke Skywalker. Form 6, Niman. Niman was a hybrid form that combined various elements from previous ones. It aimed for balance, including basic moves, without any significant advantages or drawbacks, providing a moderate and flexible fighting style, suitable for pretty much anyone in the Order. Niman was designed for Jedi who prioritized their time in the archives or dealing with politics, offering a simple and easily mastered form of combat. While it lacked specialization, in the hands of skilled practitioners, it was a strong form with a lack of weaknesses to exploit. Some of its most notable users were Darth Maul, General Grievous, and Sindralig. Not everyone enjoyed a single-bladed approach to combat though, and that's where one of the most interesting styles comes in, Jar-kai. Jar-kai was an ancient method which involved the use of two blades, either two of equal length or one slightly shorter than the other, such as the infamous Shoto used by Ahsoka Tano. Although harder to master, some even opted for the use of double-bladed lightsabers, as can be seen from the Emperor's Inquisitors who hunted survivors of Order 66. Jar-kai, while advantageous, had drawbacks. The use of individual lightsabers prevented two-handed blows and weakened one's defenses greatly. A single hilt opponent could overpower the Jar-kai practitioner's defense through the brute force, breaking through the dual-blade duelist's guard and leaving them open to attack. Some of its most proficient users were Pong Krell, Ahsoka Tano, and Darth Sidious. As it was a unique form which required great effort to master and limited a user in their power and defenses, most still opted for the traditional single-bladed combat, which brings us to the 7th form, Juyo. Often described as the most vicious and hard to learn of the traditional forms, Juyo required its users to enhance their combat prowess through the manipulation of their emotions while maintaining a sharp focus on the opponent before them. Though they may appear calm, almost trance-like to bystanders, on the inside, a Juyo user would be under an immense level of self-imposed stress, exerting all of their energy and focusing on ending the battle as quickly as possible. Due to this clear risk regarding stamina in drawn-out battles, it was rarely relied upon as one's sole form, and its difficulty led many to avoid it entirely. It was mastered by Grandmaster Yoda, Sindralig, and Darth Sidious, among a few others, although really these ones are the only ones who could use it because if anyone less skilled used them, well, they just wouldn't have a good time. Despite it already being a deeply intensive form, some felt that it could be pushed further than where its techniques were traditionally stopped, chief among these being Jedi Master Mace Windu. This led him to design a deadly variant of this form, Vapad. Vapad surpassed Juyo, becoming more than simply a fighting style, and without a doubt it was the rarest form to appear in the galaxy. It called the user to the dark side, forcing them to indulge in the darkest emotions during the battle in order to give them strength. The more one enjoyed a fight and leaned into the dark side, the better they fought and the more powerful their strikes became. This required expert-level navigation of the Force and managing one's mental state. It became off-limits to everyday Jedi after some who attempted to learn it fell to the dark side. Mace Windu alone mastered the form, and it was studied by his padawan dependable, although how far she advanced is undocumented. Mace was the only one in the Order who managed to strike that fine balance between the dark side and the light side. So that is every form of lightsaber combat from the dawn of the Jedi Order until its fall. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe and join my Discord server in the link in the description down below. Cheers, guys. Hope to see you in the next one.